It's Dragon Source, sexiest man alive, alien slayer, demon slayer, superhero. And we're live on New Earth. Let's go. So, this video is a response to a comment. How to overcome rough times in your life. How to weather the rough storm in life. I have no script. I'm just freestyling this video. First thought that came to me when I read that comment was the movie The Life of Pi. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. If you haven't, it's a great movie. It's basically this Indian kid. He's moving out of India to some other country, and his family owns a zoo, right? Tigers and elephants and giraffes and orangutans and all that, hyenas. So then there's this big storm that happens, the boat tips over, and all the zoo animals get loose and hop on the lifeboat with this Indian kid named Pi. And he's just stuck in the middle of the ocean with two predators, a hyena and a tiger and an orangutan, and he's just trying to survive. You know, sharks all around him in the water, storms, tidal waves. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's also very artistic. It's like, what do you do when you're just in the middle of the ocean between two land masses? You may not even have any compass, any direction. You may be totally at the mercy of the ocean, right? Take this as a metaphor. You may be totally at the mercy of life, not even knowing where you're going. And you're just trying to survive. Like, you may literally be in survival mode. It's like, where do you turn to at that point? At that point, you just have to surrender to a higher power. Like, there's just no way around it. Whatever gives you strength inside, I would recommend going to your own spirit, not outside of yourself. Or you could just address the universe as one collective. I wouldn't go to any specific entity for prayers. But it's just like, you know, have faith in a higher power, for real, if you're in that kind of a situation. And if you're meant to survive and inspire, then you will. Or like Christopher McCandless in, what is it called? Into the Wild. It's a book and a movie. Basically this guy, he goes, this young man right out of college, he's just like, you know what, screw it. Burns all his money, goes into the wilderness, figures out how to survive, bounces around job to job, goes on an adventure, kayaks through the Grand Canyon, and then ends up in Alaska. And I won't spoil the end of the movie for you, but it's just like, it's like faith. That's the essence of how to get through rough times is faith. And your ego doesn't naturally want to surrender. Your ego does not naturally want to surrender. It will fight to its own death to preserve its sense of power over its own fate. It will only surrender when the amount of pain is just completely unbearable. It's like, how do you not drown in a river, right? If you're underwater drowning, take you as a body, as a metaphor for your ego. There's only one thing to do, and that is to surrender. Just let the water currents kind of pull you to where you need to go. Maybe eventually you'll stumble across a log or a branch that's kind of floating out in the middle of the river, and you kind of pull yourself to shore, right? So we come to a certain point in our lives where it's just nothing more you can consciously do. And it's just surrendering to the flow of the universe at that point, a higher power, your spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. And I might be at one of those places right now. Maybe you as well, the viewer. It's going to be alright though. Now, if you're not at that point, and it's just like, you're not stranded in the middle of an ocean somewhere, metaphorically, or in the astral realm, same thing metaphorically. maybe there is a little bit more hope for you. You know, maybe you just had a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or breakup or some kind of accident or injury or whatever. Like maybe you just had a bad month. But you still have your sanity and your psyche together. There's no like severe psychological crisis going on. Okay. That is a different case. That is when you have to be your own cheerleader, your own motivational speaker, your own dragon, your own sexiest man or woman alive. For you, your spirit, your individuality, your divine spark to light up the dark, right? Got to give yourself a pep talk. Got to look yourself in the mirror like, yeah, I am the sexiest man alive. I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to start off every video saying I am the sexiest man alive because I can. Who's going to tell me otherwise? I dare you. I dare you. The ladies want me to win. Have you seen the comment section? If not, go check out my other videos. Especially the ones that blow up. Anyway, this is about you. That's a beautiful view right there. This is about you. You have to be your own motivational speaker. You have to believe in yourself. You have to look yourself in the mirror, in your own eyeballs. Just be like, look into your own soul. And see the divinity in yourself. And know that you can and will overcome. And remember all the hard times in your life before you thought there may have been no way out of, but you overcame. And that is where faith comes from. It's just this inner, visceral, deep ancestral knowing, like, this DNA has been through so much, has overcame so much, and it's still here, surviving. Like, just the technology of your body and your consciousness alone is miraculous. Just the fact that you are alive in that body, your ancestors were successful to some extent. Right? There's some divine intelligence operating through you. Unless you're a clone, just artificial intelligence, but if you made it this far into the video, it's probably not you. Now, the way you speak to yourself, just imagine what you would want to hear from other people, right? Like, if you could program someone to say anything to you, like exactly what you wanted to hear, how you wanted to hear it, what would you choose to hear, like that, right? Like, what specific validation do you need? Give it to yourself. Validate yourself. Be your own cheerleader, right? And it's different depending on your personality type, your zodiac sign, your human design code, your archetype, your sex, right? It's your age, it's your personality type. It's all kind of different things for different people, right? Like if you're a fire sign, you may need to be more appreciated for your visionary abilities. Like, wow, you really have foresight. You really can see the future. You're prophetic. I believe in your dreams and visions and imagination. Like, yeah, right? Or maybe you're an earth sign. You want to hear someone validating you on your ability to hold it down, basically, to manage the finances, to always be solid, right? To look at dog. Hey. Hey. Oh, he's back. So, if you're an air sign, right? Maybe you just want your thoughts to be validated. Like, you're a genius. I like the way you think. That's completely original. You're a great communicator. You're a great speaker. You're a motivational speaker, right? Like, whatever you need to hear, just say that give it to yourself if there's no one else there to give it to you, right? And then you project that energy on yourself. You're going to reprogram your psychic billboard, your aura, the frequencies you're broadcasting to everyone around you, telling them who you are at a subconscious level. And then they're going to slowly but surely start to mirror back the energy you're emitting to yourself to validate that you are indeed transforming into the person that you want to become. And it's that simple. It's just a transformative process. It's just willpower, right? And remembering you're divine and having that faith, remembering everything your ancestors overcame. How many of them fell in a river and didn't drown? How many of them, sailed across the Atlantic Ocean and made it to the other side and reproduced, right? I mean, if you're in America, your ancestors probably came here by ship for the majority of us. So, just that alone, man, that's amazing. Drop a comment. I want to know, what do you guys do to overcome rough times in your life? What has worked for you? You know what? I forgot to say something. I probably should have put this at the beginning of the video. But first thing to do is just don't panic. Just take a few deep breaths. Just keep it cool. Just keep it relaxed. You know what? I think my vibe sufficiently communicated that point, because I'm usually pretty chill. Just relax. Take some deep breaths. Don't panic. All right? That's step one. Now, like I was saying, comment below what worked for you guys to overcome the rough times in your life. Like, subscribe, share this video to whoever needs to see it. Love you. Live on New Earth. Stay sexy. And shine on.